The chilling story of Ted Bundy, the charismatic serial killer. Ted Bundy is one of the most notorious serial killers in American history. His charm, intelligence, and good looks allowed him to deceive his victims and those around him, making his story both fascinating and terrifying. Bundy's crimes in the 1970s spanned multiple states and left a lasting impact on criminal justice and forensic science. Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. Raised by his grandparents, he was led to believe his mother was his sister, a revelation that profoundly affected his psyche. His biological mother, Eleanor Louise Cowell, moved with him to Tacoma, Washington, where she married Johnny Bundy, who adopted Ted. Despite an outwardly normal upbringing, Bundy struggled with feelings of rejection and anger. Bundy was an intelligent and well-educated individual. He attended the University of Puget Sound and later transferred to the University of Washington, where he studied psychology. Despite his promising academic achievements, Bundy's darker tendencies began to surface. He struggled with relationships and exhibited disturbing behavior, including voyeurism and theft. In the early 1970s, young women began to disappear from various college campuses in Washington and Oregon. Bundy, using his charm and feigning injuries or posing as an authority figure, lured his victims into his car, where he would overpower and abduct them. His first confirmed murder was in 1974, but many believe he began killing much earlier. Bundy's methods were brutal. He would often bludgeon his victims, sexually assault them, and dispose of their bodies in remote locations. His ability to appear trustworthy and non-threatening made him exceptionally dangerous. Bundy's killing spree escalated as he moved from state to state to avoid detection. In Utah, Colorado, and Idaho, more young women vanished. Bundy's cunning and intelligence allowed him to evade capture. He was arrested in Utah in 1975 for aggravated kidnapping and attempted criminal assault, but managed to escape custody twice in 1977. During his escape from a Colorado courthouse, Bundy jumped from a second-story window and remained free for 8 days before being recaptured. Later that year, he escaped from jail by sawing a hole in the ceiling of his cell and walking out of the jailhouse. He fled to Florida, where his crimes reached a horrifying peak. In Florida, Bundy committed some of his most heinous crimes. On January 15, 1978, he broke into the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. Within a span of 15 minutes, he bludgeoned and strangled 2 women, Lisa Levy and Margaret Bowman, and severely injured 2 others, Karen Chandler and Kathy Kleiner. His final known murder was of 12-year-old Kimberly Leach in February 1978. Bundy's rampage came to an end on February 15, 1978, when he was pulled over by police for driving a stolen vehicle. The arresting officer did not initially recognize Bundy, but soon realized they had captured a dangerous fugitive. Ted Bundy's trial was a media sensation, being one of the first to be televised nationally. Bundy, ever the narcissist, relished the attention and even acted as his own defense attorney. His court appearances were marked by his confident demeanor and theatrical outbursts. Despite his efforts, the evidence against him was overwhelming, including eyewitness testimonies and physical evidence linking him to the Florida murders. In 1979, Bundy was convicted of the Chi Omega murders and sentenced to death. He received a second death sentence in 1980 for the murder of Kimberly Leach. In the years leading up to his execution, Bundy made several confessions, admitting to over 30 murders. However, many experts believe the actual number of his victims could be much higher. His confessions provided valuable insights into his methods and the extent of his crimes. On January 24, 1989, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair at Florida State Prison. His final words were a denial of remorse, and he did not apologize to the families of his victims. Ted Bundy's case remains a pivotal point in the study of criminal psychology and the investigation of serial killers. His ability to mask his true nature behind a facade of charm and normalcy has made him a subject of intense study. Bundy's crimes led to significant changes in law enforcement practices, including the establishment of better communication between states and the development of more sophisticated forensic techniques. The story of Ted Bundy serves as a chilling reminder of the darkness that can exist beneath a seemingly perfect exterior and the importance of vigilance and innovation in the fight against crime.